Today I'm going to make it super simple for you. I'm going to take something that so many of us way overcomplicate, break it down into 5 simple decisions, and you are going to be able to know exactly how to set up your meal planning and prep routine by the end of this live training. I'm so excited to have you here. Thanks for sticking around. My name is Tanessa and I'm a weight loss coach for women. I help women transform their lives by setting up amazing strategies for their food, developing a fit and healthy lifestyle, and dropping the mental weight. That's all the drama we have about should I eat the donut, shouldn't I eat the donut? What do I do about my weekend meals? It's all about keeping it super simple, but creating a streamlined solution so that it's just one decision, action, decision, action. That is my job, and that's what we're talking about today, because this has come up so many times with clients this week, and I thought, hey, this is something I gotta talk about. Whenever we talk about implementing a meal planning system, something where you batch cook your food, you meal prep ahead of time, you have your meals in the fridge, whether that be in Tupperware or in glass containers, that just seems so overwhelming. And I talk to clients all the time and they say to me like, that just seems like a lot of work. I don't know if I can do that. I don't really know what goes into that. I don't have enough time to put that into play right now. But I want you to think about something about why a meal planning system is so important and we need to have one in our homes. So I want you to think about this. I want you to think about all of the time it takes every single week for you to currently choose what you're going to cook that day. Come home, cook dinner that night, spend all that time cooking, then you're going to do the cleaning up after, and then there's all that time you spend going to the grocery store because you're kind of picking up foods on the fly because you don't really know what you're going to cook that night. So maybe you're making 2 to 3 grocery shop trips a week, plus you're cooking 6 to 7 times a week, plus there's all of that cleanup and there's the food storage, and then you have to get up the next day and decide what you're going to have for lunch. Overwhelming. And this is why I find it so fascinating when women say to me like, I don't have enough time to put a meal planning system into play, but I want you to think of something. If I could give you back 3, 4, 5, even 6 hours a week where you are constraining down in the amount of time you spend meal prepping, would you be interested? And the obvious answer is yes, but it seems so overwhelming on how to set it up. So what I'm going to walk you through today is the exact strategy that me and my fiance use at home that has been so successful for us. We have food prepped, planned, and prepared every single day of the week because let's face it, when we don't have healthy choices available for us to grab, we tend to get a little sloppy with our eating, we tend to have takeout a little more, we tend to fudge what we're eating and when we know we really shouldn't be eating that. So let's just make it simple. We know that having planned meals ahead of time helps us to be consistent, and consistency is ultimately what gets us into our ideal shape and that pair of jeans or that dress you've always wanted to fit into, right? So let's get your meal planning system in place, and it all comes down to making 5 decisions. Okay, that's all we have to make to get the ball rolling. I'm all about planning and being organized and having a system in place that is repeatable, something that you know that happens every week so you can integrate it into your routine. This is what saves you time. So decision number 1, and I'm going to read this directly off of a worksheet that I give my clients inside my one-on-one coaching program. So 5 decisions. Decision number 1 is what day and time will you set aside each week for meal planning? So there's 2 things. You need to figure out what day of the week and what time. So at our household, that always happens on Thursday nights. So Thursday nights, Flynn and I usually sit down for 10 to 15 minutes, and then what we do is we figure out, okay, well, what are we going to cook this week? What recipes are we going to include? What do you want to eat this week? What do I want to eat this week? What have we been missing a little bit from our diet recently? This is a really great opportunity for us to also talk about what went well last week. What didn't go well? What did we overcook? What did we undercook? So this 10 to 15 minutes of time together each week makes everything so successful. So we usually do it Thursday night, and that's when we do it. But this doesn't mean it can't change week to week. It's just that we know that this is usually what goes into our plan on Thursday night. Decision number 1, decide what day of the week and at what time you are going to be sitting down to choose your recipes and meal plan. Decision number 2, you need to decide what meals you're planning for. So there's a couple options. You can plan for your breakfast, you can plan for your lunches, you can plan for your dinners, you can plan for your snacks. You can do one of them, you can do all of them, or you can do a bit of a hybrid mix. So at our house, we have breakfast. We make it every single morning, so we don't really need to plan for that too much. We kind of have the same breakfast every single day. But what we do plan for when we're thinking about when do we need to choose recipes for and what do we need to cook for, We like to make sure that we are preparing for lunch and dinner at our household. So we chose those. What ones are you going to choose? The third decision is how many days a week do you want to spend in the kitchen cooking? So there's a bunch of answers here. You can cook once a week, 2 to 3 times a week, 3 to 4 times a week, 5+ times a week. It really is about what fits in with you and your schedule. So at our house, we cook 2 times a week, once on Sundays and once on Wednesdays. On Sundays, we cook enough to last until Wednesday morning, and on Wednesdays, we cook enough to last us all the way till Sunday. Super simple. We're only in the kitchen 2 times a week, and it makes it extra effective. We save a lot of time on that. So the third decision you need to make is how many times a week do you plan on doing the actual cooking part of your meal plan, all right? Decision number 4, what days of the week are you going to be prepping or cooking? And I kind of already referenced what we do. So we do 2 days, and we cook Sundays and Wednesdays. So by developing this routine, you know that you can schedule it right onto your calendar. Meaning, if you always know that Tuesdays and Fridays work for you, or maybe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then you can build your schedule around this. You know when you can say yes to social events and no to extra appointments, because this is something that's important to you and your health. So by deciding these ahead of time, you essentially make it part of your calendar, and what gets calendared gets done. Decision number 5. What day, this is the last one, what day and time will I be grocery shopping or picking up groceries? Because there's so many amazing services available now where you can order your groceries online and just stop and pick them up, which makes it super effective if you're a working mom or you have a business to run or you're busy during the day and you don't have time to do a full grocery shop. It's as easy as ordering it online. And there's even delivery services that'll deliver it right to your door, so find out what works. But make sure this is done once a week. Because you'll be choosing your recipes for the whole week, you will know ahead of time exactly what groceries you need during your grocery shop. So at our house, I grocery shop every Friday morning at approximately 10 a.m. and it switches by half an hour here and there, but Friday morning is when I grocery shop, and I always know that I'm gonna have all the groceries we need for the week. Now here's something that this prevents. This prevents those times where Flynn and I would have gone grocery shopping and come home with the same staples. You know how you have your staples, you have your eggs and maybe your bacon and some of your vegetables. This prevents us miscommunicating, going out, buying too much food, wasting money, food going bad in the fridge. This is an excellent strategy for not only saving you time, like I said, but saving you money. So let's go over those decisions really quick. They're simple, and this is what you need to make. Then you get them calendared on your calendar, and then you just execute your plan. So decision number 1, what day and time are you going to set aside each and every week to meal plan? That means to choose your recipes. Number 2, what meals are you going to be planning for? Is it breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, some, all? That's your next decision. Decision number 3, how many days a week are you going to be actually in the kitchen cooking and prepping? Lots of answers in here. It really has to be reflective of what you and your family's schedule look like. Number 4, what days of the week are you going to actually be doing the prepping and cooking? So not just how many times, but what days of the week. So that's what you need to choose then, so they go on the calendar so they can get executed. Everyone knows what's going on and when the food's going to be made. Last decision, what day and time are you going to be grocery shopping or picking your groceries up or having them delivered? This is a one wham bam grocery shop where you get everything you need on the list. This makes sure you aren't buying too much or too little. It is the perfect strategy for saving you time and saving you money. So just a little summary of what meal prepping looks like at our house. Every Thursday night we sit down for 10 minutes and we plan what we're going to cook for the week. We talk about what went well last week and what didn't go well last week. What did we have too much of, too less of? That's when that gets done. Then we know that we're planning for lunch and for dinner every single night of the week, because breakfasts are really routine at our house. We do 2 cooks a week. We do them on Sundays and Wednesdays, and we cook enough to last us all the way to the next cook. So what we also have done is we have understood, okay, what recipes need to be scaled up and scaled down for portion sizes. And then lastly, I go grocery shopping. It takes me about an hour and 15 minutes on Friday mornings, and we are completely stocked up for the entire week. It really is as simple as making these 5 decisions. So I want you to leave a heck yes in the comments if you are in for making these 5 decisions and putting them on your calendar, because what gets calendared gets done. If you found this content really useful, I'd be honored if you'd share it with a friend that needs help putting a meal planning system in place and knowing that it doesn't have to be so overwhelming. And if this content is transformative and inspiring for you, I would love for you to just send me a direct message. And if you need a little help along the way, whether that be accountability or help with that mental drama that that makes all of this seem so complicated and so hard, I'd love to hear a message from you, and we can set up a time just to chat one-on-one and see if coaching and working together is the next step in your transformation to the fittest and healthiest you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you next week. Take care. Bye.